was wonderful. And beyond that, I am so grateful to all y'all who are joining as attendees today. A couple people, I see some familiar faces like Tiffany out there, and I am just so happy that we're almost to the finish line for this year. And you know, the reasons I'm happy that we're almost to the finish line, it actually really goes beyond um, the political part on this. I'm really happy that 9 digits worth of anti-trans TV ads are going to stop next Tuesday. I'm really glad that all these kids who are in school right now, who are just like us, are not going to be reminded every single time that they walk into the school building that there are kids there who see TV ads calling them awful and saying that they don't deserve representation. Remember what one of the most aired ads in the entire Trump campaign right now says about Kamala right now. It is, she's for they, them. He's Donald Trump's for us, right? As in, we don't belong. And look, my pronouns are she and her. At the same time, my 2021 campaign was run by someone whose pronouns are they, them. My fiance's pronouns are they, them. I take this personally when anyone in our community is attacked. All of us are, right? And what Donald Trump's defeat at the ballot box next Tuesday would mean is that a national strategy behind ostracization, singling out, and stigmatizing the very people he's supposed to be running to represent did not work. It means that they will have to look at something else. And they could have just asked me. I would have saved them a whole lot of money and told them in 2017 they tried it and it didn't work. They could have asked me and I would have said, hey, remember the rainbow wave we had in 2018? Didn't work then either. Hey, remember when I was running for re-election in 2019 and y'all tried that crap again? It didn't work then. Hey, remember when you lost nationwide in 2020 to someone who said that trans rights were the defining civil rights issue of our time? It didn't work then. I could have used so many examples here. And at the same time, they are insistent. They will show, oh, this moves people. It's a persuasion message and it's a mobilization message. Y'all, it's a fundraising message. Okay. Above everything else, above all else with this sort of stuff, it is designed to get people pissed off enough at us to want to vote for them. And how do they then treat it from there? You have overt homophobia and overt transphobia, not kind of subtle or anything. You mean Trump's top advisors here who refer to men who they see as effeminate or simply Democrats at this point, they refer to as soy boys, which is a slur. They use, they have gone so far into the gutter in this campaign toward our community. They are actually reverting to just good old-fashioned slurs the way Ma used to make them, right? And you go, what the actual hell are they doing? In 2024, they have reverted to just like no mask on hatred toward our community, absolute utter bigotry toward our community. And their big thing about undocumented people in prisons having taxpayer funded sex changes, it's just like, okay, number one, if we get into all the details, let alone the nomenclature, let alone everything else with this, you know what they're actually doing is they're making a 9 digit investment over two people having healthcare, like two people in the entire country. Okay, so like let's get a start on this. Next part on this though is we've seen this before. And look, I just turned 40 last month. Sucks for me, but whatever. But I'll tell you, I was in college 20 years ago, casting my first presidential ballot in 2004 when I watched the George W. Bush campaign, spearheaded by Karl Rove, trying to make anti-marriage equality the stance of the Republicans and trying to put Democrats on defense with it, so much so that they had all these homophobic ballot initiatives that they were pushing, and they won. They got exactly what they wanted. And they have now doubled down on this strategy. The people who are running Trump's campaign, one of them we know very well in Virginia, I assure you. The other one had run like Rick Scott's campaign before in Florida. Okay, we've seen what a scorched earth campaign looks like in terms of all the politics and everything else. But the thing I'm most concerned about is not the politics part. It's not whether, elected officials like Andrew and me can handle it. Yeah, we can. We've been dealing with this our entire lives. We know how to deal with this. It's about kids. It's about those kids who haven't put themselves out there yet because they're scared. It's about the kids who just came out and now they're being bullied. Donald Trump is trying to embolden the bullies again. And the people who suffer for it are kids just trying to walk into school without getting pushed into a locker. The kids who are just trying to go about their day without being called an effing slur when they're walking through the hallway. Kid who is just trying to get home. And, if y'all remember, there was there's a SNL skit a while ago. It was the Wells for Boys, skit. It was kind of funny, but one of the things they said with it is like you have some kids who just kind of wait until adulthood. Here's the thing, that line was written for a very specific community, and it was for those of us especially who just wanted it to be over, who just wanted to get out of school, who just wanted to get on with their lives. That was me. That was absolutely me in high school. I was just ready to go on, to get out of there. And I feel for these kids so badly because they're the ones who are seeing other kids look at the example of Donald Trump and saying, you don't belong. On the other hand, even when our community has disagreements with the Biden-Harris administration, even when our community rightfully feels like, hey, DNC, you screwed up, you left us out. Like, we should have been there. We should have had a place on that stage. All right. And by the way, there's a lot of other communities who feel the same way that we do right now as well. There's a lot of things where we can say, hey, y'all have either been short-sighted or you messed up or whatever, but I can also point to a lot of very good things that they've done as well. And I always know that a President Kamala Harris and a Vice President Tim Walz will always have us at the table. We'll never be on the menu with them. When she picked Tim Walz, she picked the governor who probably has the strongest pro-trans record in the country right now among governors. I mean, just if that was not a signal to our community, I don't know what is. Because at that point, she put someone there who made sure that that state was a refuge for people like us who are fleeing other states. I'm trying to encourage people to come to Virginia, come move to Manassas Park. We'd love to have you here. And at the same time, I've got problems with the administration I'm dealing with, right here in the Commonwealth. But I'll leave it to Andrea to talk about, the good things that they've done in Minnesota for trans people with Tim Walz. But what I will say in closing here is above everything else, when I met Kamala Harris in 2019, she made a beeline right over to me and she told me to keep my shoulders down, my chin up, and know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And y'all, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be because I'm here with you tonight. This is exactly where I need to be. And it's to do something, as Michelle Obama was saying this weekend, to win this campaign. Now, there's a question in the chat. It says, Senator Danica Roem, how does it feel to be a part of the political party